Hey everybody, Marco here, and welcome to another pencil mark video. Today, I'm going to be showing you some puzzles that I got wrong during the GP Leftovers contest hosted by Logic Masters Germany recently. I got about 700-ish points out of 1200, so I got 24th-ish place. But if I had gotten these two puzzles correct, I would have moved up to like 20th-ish place with 800-ish points. So yeah, let's see if I can get a little bit of redemption here today. So this puzzle type is U-Bahn plus skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are a pretty common genre, but you usually see them with numbers, and U-Bahn is a puzzle type which I have mostly only seen in Germany, I think. I actually haven't seen this puzzle genre anywhere else, really. So let's take a look at how U-Bahn rules work. We've got a bunch of different tiles here. These are X, T, I, or L tiles. So I guess I'll call these plus tiles as well because plus just sounds easier to remember. And we've got to make a subway net out of these different tiles. So here's an L, here's an I, maybe here's a plus. Let's do an X here. So something like this would, for example, be a connected subway net. We can't have any like dead ends here, that's not allowed. We can't have, this being a T and then no line connecting this here, that's not allowed. You sort of get the idea here, so all the lines have to be connected to each other. Also, it's only a single subway net, so we can't have something, I don't know, in the corner here. Like this, if the board was bigger. Only one loop, basically. And then these clues at the top and on the left tell us how many pieces of a certain type are in each row and column. So here, for example, is 2 L's facing down. We've satisfied this here. This clue here, for example, is 2 T's in this column, so we would need something like this. We would have 2 T's here, and we can't have a third. So if we end up with something like this, we might have to turn that into a plus, for example. And the same thing works with rows. Here's, for example, 2 I's are in this, so we would have to place 2 I's here, for instance. Notice how we can only place L's in these corners, and on the sides here we can't do pluses. We can only do L's, I's, and T's. So for example, this I clue here, it would refer to 2 out of these 3 middle cells. Anyways, we also have skyscrapers clues in this variant. So here you can see these numbers on the right and on the bottom. They sort of do the skyscrapers thing, where in a skyscrapers puzzle it would be like ascending numbers. So this for, I don't know, if we had a 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 sequence, this would be in a 5x5 skyscrapers. This would see, imagine a building of height 2, of height 3, of height 4, of height 5. It would see 4, and the one building is sort of blocked, so it can't see this one building. The one clue would work similarly. It would see a very high building here, and then everything else is blocked behind it. How this works with U-Bahn rules is this piece is considered to have value 1. This piece, the straight line, is considered to have value 2. This T piece here, it's considered to have value 3. This plus piece here is considered to have value 4. So we'll have to do skyscrapers rules with those values which are assigned to the pieces, which is going to make for some interesting logic. So for example, for this 4, a sequence that we could do is an L, an I, a T, a plus, and then I don't know, something else here. So here it would see this tile of height 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is 1 behind it, which it doesn't see anymore. So that's a 4 clue satisfied, for example. If we had an L over here, what we would have to do is we can only have L tiles here now. So this, for example, just doesn't work here, but that would be how the logic works with the 1. So this would, for example, be much easier if this tile was facing down and this was a T. Then we could have I's and L's behind it, and it would sort of be blocked by this T. Notice that this row here can't have a plus in it because this here is a T, the plus is higher, and yeah. So that's, I guess, a baseline explanation of how the skyscraper's clues interact with this particular variant. So this is going to be tough. We had 5 puzzles of this type here in the contest. I got the first, third, and fifth correct. The second and the fourth, I either made a mistake while inputting the results or made a logical mistake in the puzzle. And, well, I'm just going to redo them now and see where we go. So let's do that now. For starters, okay, here's puzzle 2. For starters, I sort of already did this with the 4 here. We need an ascending sequence of 4. And we'll have to have an L tile here, an I tile here, a T tile here, and a plus here, because we can't have a plus facing the wall. So we already sort of have a lot of givens here with 4. I like to sort of extend these a little bit into the next cell if I can. So for this L, it has to turn to the left because it can't turn to the right, which goes here, which gives us our orientation for the I. And I'll do these little dashes here so we don't draw anything through this cell border. Because the thing about UBAD is really, it's not about how you get from one cell to another, it's more of like which cell borders do you cross. So it's important to mark those cell borders which are uncrossed. That might have sounded a little bit like gibberish, but it is what it is. Anyways, we have a 3 clue in the bottom. This is going to interact with this 2 clue on the left-hand side. It says there are 2 I's among this group of 3. But there is, based on this 3 clue, there's got to be an ascending sequence of an L, an I, and a T. There can't be a plus in the bottom row. So I believe this says we have to have an L here, an I here, and then one of these, either this cell or this cell, is a T. Since either of those would have a line going into this cell, this is going to have to be an L going up. So we sort of have the net slowly constructing itself. This line here goes up. Now, I think we have to make a connection here, segment here to connect. If we do a non-connection here, this would go like so, but that would make this an L, that make this an I. That's an ascending sequence of 2, which is going to break this 1. Hold on, how do I erase this? I messed this up a little bit. Whatever. I usually have a different layer for editing, but I forgot to make one here. Whatever, we'll salvage this. Gosh, I have to redo all of this. Anyways, so what I'm saying is we need to connect to this here. So this bit here is at least an I or a T, and that's going to satisfy this one clue here. Now this L does not go up. We still need two turns in this column, and I don't think they can go in the bottom three spaces, so they have to go up top. And we can't have a pattern like this because what will we do here on this side? And we can't have this either because that's going to have no way to connect to the rest of the grid. So we'll have to put these turns in this way. So there's actually nothing in these cells here. These are blank. So this too is satisfied. This column also needs two turns. I don't think we can do two turns at the same time in these top cells. This can't be a turn anymore, this can't be a turn anymore, so this is a turn. That means this is a T. That is our 3 satisfied. This is our L here. And if this is an L, this 2 sees a 2, 1, 4 series, so that 2 is satisfied. This one, I think we don't have to look at it anymore because this is an I, this is an I, these are L's. This can't be anything higher than an I. So we're done looking at that too. Given that this is a T and this is a T, we have 2 T's here, so we don't need any more T's. In this left column, we need 2 I's, and this thing can't be an I anymore because there's a line coming in from the left. So we have I's over here and here. Cross these off. This L is going to turn to the left, to the right. We can't turn this thing here into a T, since this is a T, this is a T. So we're going to cross this off, close that off. 2 L's are done, 2 I's are done. We have 1 L, we need 1 more L, exactly. And we have 2 T's in this column. This is our second T. So none of these are a T. We need 1 more turn. This 4 is satisfied, this 1 is satisfied. We just need to make sure not to mess this last bit up. So no T's here, and 1 L here. Consider this, if this is an L, this line has to go straight. This is a T, but we have to go up to make this not a T, but then this becomes a T. So that is going to contradict itself. So this line has to go down to make the L over here. This line goes down, and this is now a T, so we have to connect this to make this not a T anymore. So this clue is satisfied, and this L clue here is also satisfied. Dang, that puzzle took a lot longer than I thought it would, but there we go. That is our 35-point puzzle, apparently. So this puzzle has a par time of 3.5 minutes. Lovely. Anyways, let's go to our next puzzle. I think this was 75 points, so 7.5 minutes expected for this puzzle. We have a fairly good starting point here with the 3+. We've got a lot of 2 clues here and a bunch of clues here that aren't 2s. So this 3 is just going to straight up tell us we have 3 pluses here in the center. Because there's only those 3 places where the pluses can be. They can't be at the top, they can't be at the bottom. We also have 2 pluses over here in row 4. So there's either a plus here, or there's a plus here. But watch what happens if you do a plus here. We have a 3 clue for eyes in this column. If I do a plus here, this can't be an eye anymore, this can't be an eye anymore, this can't be an eye anymore. So that would conflict with this eye clue. So we do our plus on the right side. That's this done. I guess this is not a plus anymore. Maybe that's marking, I guess. These 2s, we don't need to look at them anymore because they see a plus 2 cells away, and that's the highest thing we can get. So, what else do we have? We have 2 L's in this top row, 2 I's in the second row, 2 T's in the third row, 2 L's in the bottom row. We have 1 I, which can now only be either be here or here for for column number 5. There's a little bit of an interesting restriction here with T's and L's. So everything in this column, now that we have the plus placed, everything else is either a T or an L. And somehow 3 cells here are still I's. Somehow 4 cells here are L's. Okay, there's 4 cells which are L's, and there is a 2 clue at the bottom, meaning that there is an L and then 1 cell which is higher than an L. So every cell is filled. I guess let's do little dots in the middle. These have to be L's. And then there's one which is bigger than an L somewhere. Let's mark these as L's because they might be important for the L clue here and here. I'm at a bit of a loss. I forgot how this puzzle works. Or rather, maybe I did a wrong deduction. I can't try to remember because I got this puzzle wrong. So we do only have T's and pluses going down here. One thing I will say is the first tile going from, I guess, right to left or left to right on a border, just going along the edge of a border, the first tile is always going to be an L. Because, like, if this is the first tile, we have an L. If it's not the first tile, we only have an L that can go here. If this is not the first tile, I mean, if this is, yeah, not the first tile, then this is the first tile, then this has to be an L because it can't go up or right. You get my gist. So, knowing that there can only be 2 L's in this row, and our L is the leftmost cell and the rightmost cell, this thing here can no longer be an L. So it's an I or a T, meaning it goes across like this. And these two cells, well, they can't be L's either. So these are I's or T's. Meaning this one is definitely a T. This one is still flexible. No, I don't think this can be a T. Because if it is, we need a plus somewhere. And then we also need 3 I's. You see, the 3 I's would be here and here, because this is already no longer an I, and it would have to be turned into a plus, and that just sort of messes everything up. So this stays an I. And I do believe because this is an I, we'll just have 2 T's somewhere, or something like that. Because having a plus will go up and down and just sort of mess up the I's we want to have in those rows as well. So something like this is fine, for example. One being an L, one being a T. Oh, but we do have something in this cell because this is a plus and we need 2 L's and 2 T's. So this is taken. Let's just say it is taken. Because these are L's or T's, this line goes down. We can still have this, or we can't, or we may not. Now, this is not an I, this is not an I. Both of these can't be I at the same time. This is I. For the 2 I clue here. So we're going to cross this out. That's our 1 I in this column. This goes up, so this goes left. This goes down. If this goes down, we have 1, 3, 4 for the skyscraper, so this one here stays in L. This is going to go down because if we cut this off, we have the same sort of 1, 3, 4 connection in front of the 2. So this is going to go down. I guess we can cross these skyscraper clues off now since they work. This is a 1, 3, this is 1, 4. This clue is going to be satisfied either way. So I don't care about this clue anymore. This, we already have 1 I here, so these are connected. These are going to be our 2 T's. So we have 3, 4 for the skyscraper clue. Those are our 2 T's, so no more T's in this row. We have our L's here. This is a T, this is a T, so this thing here stays an L. Nothing here. We're good on all of these fronts. This is fulfilled. And now we just need to finish off the rest. We've got... The only things we've got here now are... We need 3 I's. We need 4 L's. We need 1 more I. We've got 1 here. We can't have any more T's. There is definitely a T in this column. I'm going to say the only spot we can place it is here. if we place it here, we'll have to, if we place it here, no, we can still place it here. Okay, but let me go through the possibilities. We can't place a T here anymore because that would conflict with the 2T here. If we place it here, we need the other cell to be an I, so this would have to go down. This would be our T. These two cells would be our L's for the 4. And these would both have to connect, meaning we just don't have 3 I's. So this can't be a T. I'm thinking we can still have a T in this spot. Or we can have it in this spot. But I'm thinking this spot is impossible. Is it? Yeah. If we have a T in this spot here, this will have to be our L. This thing here can't be, I mean, these will have to be our I's. This thing here can't make, it can't make a T because of this here. And basically, we just kind of screw this all up. It has to be something, can't do 4 turns here anymore. Okay, I'm just tripping over my words at this point, but I'm going to say this case here is not allowed. Therefore, this has to be a T. This is not an I, so both of these are I's. We need 2 I's in this column, so this goes down. And all of these are our 4 L's. This stays an I. So just to confirm, we have 3 I's in column 2. We have 2 I's here in row 2. We have 2 T's here in row 3. This skyscraper's clue, we have a turn and then an I, so that is 2. That's perfectly fine. And this works out here. We have an I, this L doesn't get seen, and then we have a T. That's an ascending sequence of 2. Very well. Those should hopefully be the correct solutions for puzzle 2 and puzzle 4. And now let's go on to the big one. This is the puzzle that is worth the most points in this championship, I believe at 100, so an estimated 10 minutes of solving time. Well, that can't be a good thing, so let's just get started here. Starting off, we've got 4 T's in column 7. This is a 7x7 puzzle, so we have 5 cells in the middle. So 4 out of those are T's, and there can't be a T in front of the 3 clue because that's already the second highest building. So if that's in front of, I mean, not building, but you get the gist. It's the second highest clue. So we can't have that in front of a 3. So we've got T's in this spot here in the second row, and then in rows 4, 5, and 6. This thing here is crossed out. So we already have the entirety of column 7 pretty much figured out from the start. Now column 6 is interesting because we have a 4 skyscraper clue, meaning it's going to be the ascending LIT plus sequence. We're going to start with an L, because the first one in front of the 4 has to be an L, so no connection here. This thing here has to stay an L, so it's not going to connect here or here. This thing here, I guess it can be an L or it can be an I. Then there's a T behind it somewhere, and then there's a plus behind it somewhere. So IT plus is a minimum of here, but it can't be because there's no connection happening here. So this goes up. Like so. There we go. Clean. I will say we do need a plus somewhere in this row. This thing here cannot be an L, because in that case, this can't be an I, so it would have to be an L too, but that messes up our sequence of 4. So this has to be an I, not going up. We either have this as a T, or this is a T. Either way, this is a connection that happens. Oh, and check this out here. This clue is telling us we can only do 2 L's in this column, and we already have our 2 L's, so no more L's. This has to get upgraded into a T. This has to get upgraded into a T. This here stays a straight line because we also have a 2 straight lines clue, and that's column 6 done. Column 6 is officially done. Now we do have this interesting 3 pluses clue in row 2. So we've got pluses in 3 out of these 5 spots. I suppose we can't have a plus here because this is a 1 clue and it sees a T, so no pluses are in this row. I'm just going to sort of do a 0 here to keep that in mind. So we'll have pluses here, here and here, or here, or here. Either way, these connections happen because there's either a plus here, or both, guaranteed. I'll just mark this as a T real quick. We've got our clues here that we also need to look at. This T, we have 1 T in this row already, so no more T's in row 2. We definitely need 1 more T and 2 more turns in row 3. We have 2 T's, so no more T's in yeah, no more T's in row 4. No pluses either, so everything else here is either a straight line or a turn. And there are still 2 straight lines. I do see something interesting with row 5. We need 4 of these remaining cells to be turns somehow. And in the case where this here is a plus, this doesn't quite work out. In that case, these would all have to be L's, you know, these would all have to be turns, but that doesn't work out with parity because this being a turn here means it either goes left up or left down. Whoops, that's my glass. No, I don't want to cut the entire layer. So this would not be crossed. Then this turn can't go left, so it has to go right. But then this cell is messed up. So this case here doesn't work. That means we know where our pluses are in column 2, and they're in every single other spot. Over here, and in both of the upper spots. There we go. This is not a plus. And yeah. So now in row 6, we have, with this 3 and 2 clue, we've got 1 plus and 1 turn. Meaning that makes 7, so every cell here has something in it. This is not a turn anymore, it's got to be an I or a plus. So it goes up and down. And it can do this if needed. This thing too, it's not a turn because of that, so it goes up and down. That makes this a T. This goes here. And this is a T. So out of these cells, 2 are I's and 1 is a T. I'll just mark this 2 as complete pretty much. Yeah, this goes here. I think there's an argument to be made that this can't be the T. If this is the T, then these other 2 are I's, meaning they close over here. But that means we can't place 6 L's here anymore, because that would be 6 lines that go up. So this here is limited to being an I. Now this 2 sees an L and an I. There's only one I, so any other cell or any other path segment that gets placed along here has to be an L based on this 2 clue here. So that's pretty sick. Okay. So this stays an L. This stays an L. This stays an L, but it goes to the left. These stay L's and are blocked off here. How cool is that? Now we have a top row deduction. We have 1 more T and 1 more I to place, and we can't place them here because we have got a corner situation going on. So there's only one spot where these can go. Extend these to L's. And we're done with top row. Now we have a T, so this can't get extended to a T. This stays an L. We do need one more straight line segment here. So it's either like this, with this being the straight line segment, or like this, with this being the straight line segment. Anyways, this goes down here. We do need one more T. It's either in this position or in this position. Either way, a connection here happens. And now we have our 4 L's clue. This can't be an L anymore, nor this, nor this. So the L's are cells 2, 3, and 4. Meaning that this goes to the left, this goes to the right, so it can't go to the left, and this goes over here. And now we've got our T, meaning this is not a T. Row 1 done. This L does not go up since it goes down, so we've got this here. I think we're almost done here. We just have to do a little bit more. This could either be an I leading to a T, or an I here with a T over here. Either way, this cell definitely goes up and down. Meaning this L does not go up. So this cell can only be an L now. It can't be an I or a T. So the only place the second I can go in this row, like we have T's, the T's over here. This can only be an L, this can only be an L, this can only be an L. So this is definitely an I. This goes up. So this row here is done. This one is confirmed. We do still need one of these cells to be a T for this 3 clue to work. And we have a 2 clue for the L. So this is definitely an L, this is definitely an L. This has to turn into a T, and it turns into the only T. So this is not an L, this is not a T, this has to be an I. That's done. We've got our second row here complete as well. This turns downwards. So yeah, just to double check the last few clues. We have 2 L's and 1 T here in column 3. All these first 4 are I's, so those are over here. If this is a T, that messes up the cells to the left and the right for the 6th clue, so this is an L while this is a T. To make that work with the 3 and the 2 here, this is our I, so the T goes down instead of to the right. Finally, the last little bit here, we have a 1 clue here. So this thing has to be higher than an I, so this can't be an L. It's got to be a T. And with that, we're done, I think. Yeah, this 3 clue is fulfilled. The 6th clue is fulfilled. We've got the right distribution of T's and I's here. And this 4 for turns. Well, yeah, we fulfilled that when we made sure all of these were L's. That's done. All right. And this is the highest point puzzle of the long title, GP24 Germany Round Leftovers Championship on Logic Masters Germany. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped you understand this complex variant a bit. Uban is a fairly rare puzzle type, and I hope this gave you some insights into solving it with variant rules. Thanks for watching. Bye.